Hi guys. Hi. How's it going? Gonna do my makeup for MTF school. I'm also writing down ideas if anyone has any ideas for videos or topics. Hey Audrey. So just gonna start by doing some makeup. Where did I put my beauty blender? Oh, right here. Hi, Erica. How are you guys doing? Have you been having a good weekend? Good. Nice. What have you guys been doing? I've been playing Fire Red. And it was really nice outside yesterday, so I went out and worked in my garden. So. I should start with concealer. Weekend was good. I don't want it to end, but I have to go back to work tomorrow. Same. I'm glad you had a good weekend. My hours are so cut right now seasonally. So I'm like having like 3 or 4 days off a week right now, which is really strange, but it's giving me a lot of time to like work on the podcast and stuff like this, so. But the paychecks, I need the paychecks to come back a little bit. I've been playing Alan Wake 2, and we had game night at our house last night. What is Alan Wake 2? That sounds fun. Hi, Alexa. I really need to buy new concealer. It's fine. I'm dipping it in water because it's completely dry. Paranormal Detective game on PC, but I play it on Amazon Luna. That's cool. I've been playing while I'm like rendering. I just got makeup everywhere. While I'm rendering like 45-minute podcast episodes on my computer, I have some like flash games that I play. I have Zombie Trailer Park and Super Tux, and I just beat Zombie Trailer Park the other day. I have not tried Amazon Luna though. Since using my new concealer, I've become really good at hide and seek. So, one of my friends said that I was... They didn't say I was doing it wrong, but they said, wow, I've never seen it done that way before. When we were filming for the podcast and I was doing my makeup in front of them. So, because I am really bad about like smearing it in. And they're like... So I need to try to role model concealer better. Okay. I should probably also use a mirror. It's just very not blended yet. That's okay. So I'll go over some ideas that I have for MTF schools so far. But first, did you guys did you see the clip yesterday where I was filming MTF school and a fucking orb like dive bombed my head? It's in the MTF school from yesterday. I was editing it yesterday morning because I was like, I gotta get an episode out, and I just saw this thing like change directions twice in like under a second, and I was like, stop everything. I'm going to make a really funny edit with this. But I still kind of tried to make it an episode that had some MTF information as well. But I'm like, oh, I have so much of that shit happen down here in this basement. Baloof the Sloof, that's a great name. I forgive you. You will enter the golden gates despite your concealer usage. Thank you. I'm not proud of the fact that I work at a drugstore and can literally get discounts on makeup, but I have expired like 3-year-old dry concealer that I keep using. Audrey, I got one of the best compliments yesterday. My wife said that my makeup was flawless and was better than hers. Is your wife cis? And also, that's awesome. Makeup is so fun. Especially like when you start feeling confident and like having fun with it. So that's awesome. Lexa, I showed my friend when I first started with makeup how I did my makeup the crow style with my fingertips. The crow style? She dropped her makeup brush so quickly. What is the crow style? Maybe I need a tutorial. Makeup being fun is a big fat truth. Yeah, she's cis. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with makeup too. I literally only do makeup when I'm on camera now. I have really sensitive skin, but also I kind of roll with that like male privilege mentality of like, I just want to get up and go to work. I don't want to spend 90 minutes on like how I look. But like, I don't know. I also don't give a fuck at retail. Like, I don't know. In the 90s movie, the core Brandon Lee does his black and white makeup montage with his hands and looks flawless. Oh, The Crow. Oh, okay. He does his makeup with his fingers. I have not seen The Crow, but I need to. I've had other people say that it's a really good movie. That's cool. I also come from like the school of trans women where I thought I was a drag queen before I transitioned, so I learned drag makeup first. And I had to learn how to like scale it down and like rework it. I had a thought for MTF school, but I don't know if it's relevant. I was thinking that with TVOD coming up at the end of the month. Ooh. What do you think would like be in like what do you think like should like I should talk about in terms of it, like what it is, how to celebrate it? Thank you. I think that's a really good one, actually. I wonder if Afra is doing something on that too. I'm gonna make a note of that. Thank you. Makeup in retail is a privilege for sure. I don't know how my manager does it. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I got so, and maybe this is like toxic or like me, my internalized misogyny, but like, if I do makeup and go to a retail space where I have men coming up to the counter constantly and like making comments about how I look, they kind of perceive sometimes like if you do makeup or go above and beyond is like you're trying to get more attention, and like, which is usually not the case, but like I kind of just hide now. Like I just kind of put my hair back and I'm like, you're gonna get the 5 o'clock shadow, it's fine. So I don't know. But I don't know. That's just also just my being afraid all the time of it all, and being afraid of like, man. But I have a coworker who does like, she'll go all out. She'll do like glitter, sparkles and everything. And it's like, I'm just like, I wish I was as brave as you. I looked at drag makeup, but I was like, so much effort. Yeah. That's fun, though. That's, like, the full transformation. Maybe a good topic for spring and summer, mixing makeup with sunscreen and trying the no makeup look. Ooh. Thank you. Spring, summer, mixing makeup. Thank you. Thanks, Lexa. Baloof the Sloof. Okay, I'm going to go back to cleaning. Big love. Thank you for hanging out, and have a great rest of your weekend. That took me a while to understand the concept of no makeup look, adding sunscreen for protection. What is the no makeup? Because if I want to do no makeup, I do like brow pencil, a little bit of highlighter, and maybe like some concealer over like my razor burn and like under my eyes. Maybe letting people know that it's safe to do so, that it's a shout out. If only it's... Maybe that it's safe to do so, that it's shouted out. If only to help letting people know that we've always existed, we're not going anywhere. Okay, always existing. Oh, yeah, like why it's so important to celebrate. Especially right now during a trans genocide. Thank you. Always existed. Not going there. Also the aftercare, after makeup, the routine to clean your face and aftercare. Clean face. I used to do last summer and last fall, I did a lot of like tutorial stuff. Do you guys want me to do more of that again? Or do you kind of like the more kind of like commentary? Or like a mix? I actually like, it got really expensive because I was like buying a bunch of makeup to try and like fake nails and stuff, which isn't expensive, but like it adds up when you're a cashier. So like I haven't done that in a little bit, but I would, if you guys want that, I can start doing that again. That'll be fun. Mascara, blush, lip balm, and some blush with a decent moisturizer. Blush. Yeah, mascara, I forgot that. Makeup for dysphoria is also a big topic. because like some people have a hard time like leaving the house without makeup, but you know, so like one of my best friends, like she'll go like full like Instagram influencer makeup, and I like am not that good at makeup, so I just kind of like, you know. But you know, I don't know, I've gotten to a place where I don't feel like I have to wear makeup to go out, but it's not out of a place of vanity, it's just out of being lazy, and also just kind of being in denial and kind of hoping that like I'm not gonna get clocked if I'm just doing my job, or just hoping that like no one gives me shit. But sometimes I do go through phases where I do like feel like I need to do some makeup, or I try a little bit harder. Any quick voice training tips? You're done studying. I've been trying to speak differently, and maybe my technique sucks, but it's physically exhausting. Oh, hey, Autumn. Yeah, so I have a couple videos that I've done on that, but I can really quick do a little refresher. I used to watch Steph Signotti. She did a couple videos like back in the day when I was starting my transition, and they were super helpful. So those are the kind of the ones I've been like regurgitating for MTF school. So the easiest way to kind of think about it is like your speaking voice is like where you take your air from. So like right now I can feel that I'm taking it from my throat. If I was like, oh my god, hey guys, ah! Like that's from like my head, because I'm only taking air from here up. But if I want to like talk with like chest voice like down here, which is hard to fake after so many years of training, but like, hey. So those are like the 3 zones that you can take air from. Usually like if you go fully through male puberty like I did, you start here, and then the really quick thing, it can be tough because you don't want to like strain your vocal cords, and you don't want to like overdo it, but if you just kind of practice doing like, I think Steph called it like Mickey Mouse voice, and you're like really overshooting, it forces your muscles to kind of shift like how you hold your air. I'm not a doctor, but like, so I would, and you don't have to do this like around people. Like in my car, I just make weird noises and like do weird voices and stuff. And like, that was something I did a lot, was I was just like, oh my God, you know, until like it started becoming more natural. And, it was also weird because like people, I had a family member kind of clock me for like trying to raise my voice, talking to like a waiter or something, and they were like, why are you faking it? And it's like, no, I'm trying to like find what's more comfortable for me. And that takes a lot of time, but also kind of like hormones and other things you do to help your dysphoria helps all of it kind of feel more solid, and your voice will kind of like find its natural spot. I mean, you can always go as far as like VFS, like vocal feminization surgery, but that is a lot of money and a lot of recovery, and not everyone has that like privilege or like those resources. So I hope this is helpful. So that's what I do, is I just I just overshoot. And I try to make myself laugh and like do weird voices, and that just helps. I don't know if that helps, but Lexa, I tried no makeup look for Pride. It got perfect. I cycled back to perfect. Got the oil and the sunscreen and all the makeup moved. My neck looked flawless though. Nice. Yeah, outdoor makeup is like a different beast than like indoor like studio setup lighting. Yeah, that's I'm gonna write that down too. Makeup for outdoors. Also, like, you sweat stuff off so bad. Oh, setting spray is a good note. Yes, totally. Primer and pre-makeup is so important in the right order. It's confusing at first. Yep, definitely helps. Minnie says, hi, I don't really have a request, but I just want to express my gratitude for your work. It might seem small, but so many basic questions that trans femmes have are hard to get a simple answer for. Thank you. That means a lot. And Autumn, thank you. I'll give that a try. Awesome. I hope it helps. But yeah, no, thank you, Minnie. That means a lot. I'm glad it's helpful. I try to at least have fun doing it, but my hope is that it definitely helps convey some kind of helpful information as well. Also, like, being trans isn't like a huge part of my life or a huge focus of my life anymore, so I just like have all of these like weird jokes and stories about my transition that like I have to put somewhere, and you know, yeah. How do you deal with the social, hi Sean, how do you deal with the social weirdness of people who know you and then trying to find that voice? Like clothing people sort of tolerate, but voice, it seems like they give me a funny look. Yeah. I think I was just mentioning a little bit earlier, like how I had a family member kind of clock me when I was raising my voice. I think it is awkward. I think it takes time, and I think the more the other person gets used to you doing it and realizing that like you're doing that to be more comfortable, then it eventually, like the shock of it will kind of go away. But I kind of did a lot of my voice training like trial by fire, which basically like when I came out, I got a job as a, like my first job as a like woman about 4 or 5 months into estrogen, and it was in a small town and like very conservative, so I kind of tried to pass as like a survival technique. So I like literally forced my voice so much every single day to like get to like pass, that no one like looked at me. And you know, there was one time that was really funny. I actually should write this down, where I was at that job and I was working with like men and stuff, and I did not want them to say anything to me. I didn't want anyone, you know, treating me differently, because I didn't think anyone there was going to be supportive. But one day they like, I forgot to shave before I went in, and I was paranoid, and I was working at a greenhouse, so I shaved in a porta potty and didn't realize I gave myself a bunch of razor burn from dry shaving. And I went back into the building and they were like, oh my God. And I was like shitting myself, and they're like, oh, is that a hickey? And I was like, yeah. So it's a lot of like, you know, putting yourself out there and trying to find what works for you, and then kind of realizing that, you know, it is awkward for other people to hear it, people who have been used to seeing you and hearing you for a different way for a long time. But at the end of the day, it's about you and like what makes you more comfortable in your body. So yeah, long answer. The self-cringe factor of hating hearing your own voice, that is also tough. Yeah, seeing and hearing yourself early into your transition and being like, this isn't it. That's a process. That's a journey too. I'm finding that group sessions help over on Discord. That way I'm learning with others. Ooh. If you have any like groups that are helpful, like, please share them, or like I can share them too. If it's for like a bunch of girls trying to help each other with their transitions. I'm gonna do some makeup. But thank you guys for the ideas. I really appreciate it. And I hope that I'm being helpful. I never actually finished doing my eyebrows. I need a screenshot of that comment. Has anyone checked out the podcast episode I did with the trans legislator last week? If you haven't, it's really cool. I did an interview with Billy Butler, who is a representative for my area, New Hampshire, and she is like helping kind of fight a lot of the bathroom bans and stuff that are happening. So if you go to my bio and go to The Will of the Hunted, my podcast, there's a bunch of clips with her that are really, really cool. And yeah, she's a really cool figure in the community and someone who I look up to as like someone in the community and physically like my area. I'm looking at the website to get more detail. Is that the website for the Discord group? Yes, that was awesome having Billy on. Thank you. Thanks for listening or watching. I think you DM'd me about the first episode. Yeah, right, okay. I was trying to remember. It was really fun having kind of a lot more of an uplifting episode after episode 1. And just kind of have fun and be like a theater kid. And then this one that's coming out Tuesday is all about fighting ICE censorship. And like how TikTok is like locking down a lot of any kind of dissent and speech against the administration, and also, locking down a lot of trans content as well. So I've been trying to push MTF a little bit more on Instagram these days. And also I'll share this this live as like a video when we're done, so that if other people who didn't get a chance to join can hear that information as well, that we've been talking about, all the tips and tricks and all that stuff. So I did, and yes, I agree. It was nice having an uplifting episode. Yeah. I'm trying to like let myself have fun with it too. But like MTF school is like kind of me really trying to have fun and let myself have fun, because the Will of the Hunted is like, I push myself really hard to like really focus on heavy topics, but still like, you know, have some lighter conversations around them. But I have so many really cool people who have been on the podcast and who have filmed episodes that haven't come out yet that, you know, make talking about those topics like really easy, which is nice. And yeah, I'm still a little embarrassed about the first episode, but I've gotten a lot of great feedback about it helping people, so that's helped me kind of be okay with that. But again, thank you for watching the first episode. That means a lot to me, and that's not something everyone has to do, because that is a very tough topic. Okay. I had someone comment on TikTok. They said, "You need Jeffree Star, honey." And I was like, what do you mean? Like makeup? Do I need his makeup? Like, are you reading my makeup? Or do I need him to like call me a slur? I never got an answer. It's okay. Okay. I'm gonna do my waterline. The voice lessons website is vocalteam.com. Screenshotting. Sorry if it pauses the live. Okay. Thank you. Led by Sean and Altamira. The Discord link is okay. I'm gonna check that out, and I might make a resource graphic and share that as well. Thank you, Audrey. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that it's been helpful for you too. So I hope other people can find it too. Is anyone playing Pokopia? As I give myself clown lung. Thanks, Audrey. I think it is. It's for the Switch 2. It's like an Animal Crossing like reboot that's just Pokemon. Kind of like Pal World, I think. I don't have a Switch 2, so I haven't played it, but I've seen people like, you know, be like crazy about it, or like saying they have to get a Switch 2 to play it. But it looks cool. I still haven't finished Legends ZA. But also, I've been playing Fire Red, because that came out for the Switch a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to beat that right now. I don't know Switch 2 either. Yeah, I have. I got a Switch like at the very beginning of lockdown, and I still have it. my god, it was so hard to do makeup when you have amnesia. Like, I keep forgetting which step I'm working on. This is also very old makeup. What do you do for work, Audrey? You like to say you do drugs for a living. What does that mean? I fill drugs for a living. I'm a pharmacy tech. So I'm just gonna do some eyeshadow. I do this like blush pink for like everything. You run a drugs of abuse lab where people analyze drugs of abuse for law enforcement court purposes. Wow. That's really interesting. So are you figuring out like what the legal limits of things being used are, or like, wait, spent 17 years down south being on the bench doing the testing and now supervising 6 chemists. Wow. That's really cool. Congratulations. Is it like a forensic thing or more of kind of like a kind of like standards and regulations kind of way? Yes, to forensics. Are you doing like toxicology reports and stuff? And that's really cool. We get the pills and powders and have to figure out what they are. Oh, damn. That's wow. Hey, Zombleroth. I love that I'm trying to do it without a mirror. Hey, how's it going? Are you having a good weekend? I almost drank this. This is my makeup brush water. I need a blend. How much fell from the chemist up in Mass? Did that have echoes around the country in response? What happened in Mass? I feel like there are like kids outside my window. I keep hearing weird stuff. A chemist involved in testing a large percentage of captured drugs developed a massive drug problem of their own and ended up... Whoa. That sounds like the plot of Breaking Bad. It was profoundly sad for them, but also dark for the corresponding community. Yeah. Dry labbing and falsifying reports. I'm nodding like I know what you guys are talking about. I have no idea. But that's, well, that's really sad. Now I'm trying to make sure that we are not the third lab in Mass to make those. You're in Mass too? Yeah, that's a really tough professional situation with all that pressure. So I hope you and your coworkers are okay. That's a big microscope. You live in Connecticut, but your lab's in Mass as well. Gotcha. I'm from Maine, but I lived in Mass for 4 years. Now I'm up in New Hampshire. Oh, upstate New York. I have family up there. And my brother lives in Burlington, Vermont. So you get to see the Catskills from where he lives. One of the most beautiful corners of the world. Yeah. I have, my uncles live, near Bard College, which is like an hour north of the city on the Hudson. It's really, really pretty there. Yeah. I love walking the grounds at Bard College. There's like this huge mansion. I think it's called like the Mooney property or something, but they have like a bunch of test greenhouses where they like the agricultural students, the horticultural students like try new like varieties of plants and stuff. That's really cool. But my mom is from Connecticut, from upstate, or not upstate, northwest corner of Connecticut. I'm gonna do eyeliner. You went to school in Vermont, about 30 minutes south of Montpelier. The leaf season was incredible. Same now with your drive from CD to Mass. Where did you go to school in Vermont? Did you go to... If you're south of Montpelier, that's not UVM. I have a friend at Mount Snow. I guess I don't know a lot of schools in Mass, or in Vermont. Yeah. Oh, it's right here. Norwich University over in Northfield. Okay. Cool. How'd you like it? So we three never touch fake maple syrup, right? Well, to my defense though, Mike's uncle taps trees in our backyard every spring. So sometimes we do get like real maple syrup, like from the source. Oh my God. Hey, Ben. Benjamin. No, I love my Aunt Jemima. I love my like high fructose corn syrup, maple syrup too. Ms. Buttersworth. Let's use some lipstick. I always start with chapstick. I grew up poor. Our neighbor tapped our trees and boiled it all in a giant witch's cauldron over wood fire. So many kid memories wrapped up there. I can't do the high fructose corn syrups now. Yeah, that's fair. I have no excuse either. But growing up in New England completely, I shouldn't be eating the fake stuff. But I also don't, I've never had lobster, which is another like sin as a New Englander. I've also never seen a moose. But that's cool that you guys made your own. Or your neighbor made it. A Mainer with no lobster. I know. In my defense, I'm getting defensive over lobster. I would always play with them because you get them alive. So I would like play with them like pets, and then my mom would like throw them into the fucking boiling water, and I'd cry. So lobsters are friends, not food. I found it interesting that there is such a thing as the maple syrup cartel. What? I haven't heard of that. King of Sport. Hey AJ, is your MTF content also on YouTube? Yes. It's on my page, AJ Off the Hook, at AJ.offthehook. Please check me out over there. And we just hit 800 on that channel, which is really cool. So yeah, I am on YouTube. Totally fair. I had to process that live early on. I'd probably be dodging the sea bugs too. Yeah, like my cats used to play with them too. Like we'd put them on the floor and they'd crawl around. And then if you like stand them on their nose and then rub their back, they fall asleep. Which is something I would do before they got cooked. Cats with lobsters, top tier Mainer behavior. That's probably one of the most Mainer things I've done. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Oh no, I'm not doing an entire Instagram live with lipstick on my teeth again. I'm becoming a New Hampshire resident, like kind of terrifying as a trans person, but like, I kind of have to at this point. I've been here for 2 years. But New Hampshire is a different breed of New England. New Englander. It is very different than Maine and Massachusetts. I still don't really know how to define it. I'm low-key a little afraid to, like, watching back the MTF school I'm about to film, like, all the footage. I'm, like, terrified I'm gonna see another, like, ghost in the video. I have that issue all the time in this basement. I'll probably fucking see something when I watch this live back. But... no, I'm in the basement of our house, which is my studio. We have the podcast set up right here for The Will of the Hunted. That is not a ghost, that is a cotton ball that just flew up in the air. And then, yeah. This is where I film my reels, this wall. And then I have like all of my outfits for the podcast there. And also I started setting up my sewing machines and stuff again, because part of my reintegration healing is starting to make clothes again. And that is my goal this year. This house is almost 140 years old. It is so haunted. I'm not kidding. I've had stuff like flipped over in this room before, and we built a door because we thought it was the cat. She did a lot of damage in here, but like, stranger things have happened here. Tell me everything. I remember when the libertarians said they were taking it over like 15 years ago. They did. They definitely did. Did you see that? I'm losing it. I thought I saw something just like... Anyways. So, if you know my friend, or my boyfriend, Mike, from my channel, or my pages, his aunt and uncle used to own this house, and he rented out half of it, and they lived in the other half, and they said that, like, every single person who lived on this side of the duplex had seen a ghost. And funny enough, like, the first night I filmed for the podcast, I saw the ghost in the hallway in the upstairs. It was like midnight. We had just finished filming episode 1 of season 1, and I saw a man in a white shirt at the top of the stairs, and I was like, Mike, what are you doing? And it wasn't Mike, and then he was gone. So but we have a lot of like weird shit happen here. A lot of knocking on walls, flickering lights constantly. Things will disappear, things will move. I'm in my witchy era. I have, every time I film for the podcast, there's a chance that I'm going to see like an orb or something on camera. In the first episode of season 2, you can see there's a dark corner over my right shoulder, and there's like a weird spark of light that happens like 10 or 15 minutes into the episode, and I don't know how to explain it. Casey says, my great-grandma's house was built in 1903 and 5 people have died there. She lives alone and hears stuff 24/7. She's a brave woman. When I was in high school, I used to be obsessed with like the paranormal, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get ghost detecting equipment. And now it's like, it's so annoying, because like when I'm home alone, like trying to get stuff done, like trying to edit for the podcast and stuff, and I hear like a door close, I'm just like, come on, are you fucking kidding me? Like it gets really frustrating and annoying because it's like makes you feel like you're going crazy all the time. So oh, and the attic, this is the basement, which is definitely haunted. The attic I will not go into, and I have stuff in there because there are apparently kids up there. There are like drawings that kids did like all over the chimney and stuff up there, but when I go up, I feel like I'm being watched, and I will not go up there most of the time, but especially if it's after dark. I won't. So all my stuff up there is gonna stay up there forever. But I'm trying to like make peace with the spirits, especially in my studio room, because I'm like, y'all stop fucking touching my shit. Like I did I think it was the first day I started filming reels after my break. I think it was February 1st, and I had an entire order of like Pokeball tins shipped here. I spent so much money on it. And I opened them all, and I was gonna, keep them all as like decorations for my room. And we had built the door at this point. There was no one else in here. The cat cannot get in anymore. I came downstairs to clean up later that night. Entire tray had been flipped and was all over the floor. And I like grabbed Mike and I just cried. And I was like, why? Why does this keep fucking happening to me? Like, there's literally like no way the cat could have done it. There's no way, like, sealed room. So, yeah. But like, I have put so much money into this goddamn room and all the equipment in it. So it's like, I'm trying to make peace. They're just more fans. I like to imagine the weirdos come out for those of us rejected a bit by default people's not a true believer but a wisher. If there's anything real, they know we are mischievous and fun. I like that mindset. Wicked Witch of the West Coast. Hi. You should do a video on finding an aesthetic. That's cool. Thank you. Finding... Thank you. But yeah, that's my little haunted rant. Everyone in this house, except I think Mike, he might have had experiences, but he doesn't want to think about it. But like all of our roommates have had experiences here too. Oh, thanks, Audrey. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And it's been really cool getting to know you a little bit better. So thanks for hanging out. And have a good luck with the whole work situation. That is a lot. And I hope it goes well this week for you. So thank you. I think the last time I went live to film MTF school, I didn't realize I had the flu. And I literally like took all these ideas down, and then like by the time I got to set up the camera, and like I couldn't understand why my concealer was like, why my skin was like brighter than my concealer, and it was because I was like this white and sick. So it's been a minute since I've gone live. So thank you. I really wanted to say hi and catch up, see how everyone's doing. Do I have anything else to do for makeup? I'm gonna do setting spray. Thank you. Thank you. I recently got diagnosed with DID, dissociative identity disorder. So I have horrible amnesia. So like, especially when I'm like working or like putting any kind of pressure on myself, I forget what I'm doing every 5 minutes. So I'm like, we got there eventually, but I can't tell you how I did it. I didn't do mascara. And thank you. I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you. Okay, I'm gonna do my hair. Diagnosis for a lot of folks. You know about DID? Well, thank you. Yes, it has been life-changing to get a diagnosis, finally. Like, I have felt crazy for so long. Hi, Celeste. But, yeah. So that's been a big journey for me, is figuring out DID and understanding it and reintegrating. So I've been documenting that a lot with the podcast, The Will of the Hunted. But, that's like trying to do this kind of like, which I'm working on trying to make it a job. It's being on camera and then constantly forgetting and like trying to figure out which part of me is talking is like exhausting, but I love this. I work it like a job. I literally work 40 hours a week on the podcast and these reels. So I consider it a job, even though it's not making money yet, but, yeah, thank you. So I've been working hard with 2 therapists and pushing through so that I can keep making content and like making sure I'm taking care of myself as well. I've had a number of close friends deal with it. I need to tag in more on the podcast. It sounds really meaningful to hear the fullness of a journey. Let it all bloom. Thank you. You've had other friends with it too. Yeah. I don't really know. I know maybe like 1 or 2 people who have it as well. So if any of those friends are like, have like public accounts or like talk about it, please send that to me. I'd love to check it out. Yeah. And thank you, Celeste. Cool. The hair flip comes out a little bit differently every time I film. I should see who was up for. Unfortunately, first people that come to mind didn't make it. Do you follow Tara Knight? I don't think I do. I'll have to look her up. And I'm so sorry about your friends. I hope I'm misinterpreting what you said, because that's really sad. I've lost a gazillion people. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Especially like DID. When I first got diagnosed, I was like researching a lot. I was like going down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and like it's just like, it's really sad how misrepresented DID is in media, but also how hard it is to get diagnosed, and also like how hard it is to like get help. So like, yeah, they literally said it's like one of the most like SUI inducing disorders, because it's just that mentally difficult. So yeah, that breaks my heart. That I don't know if that's why they, or but whatever, you know what I mean, like it. Finding aesthetics. Yes, I'll do a video on finding aesthetics. I'm going to film that. Thank you for the idea. Right, the treatment options aren't amazing. We don't know how to handle it from a lean in or lean out perspective. It's all complicated. Yeah, mine was for so long just like misdiagnosed as like, I mean, I have PTSD, but like for so long it was misdiagnosed as CPTSD. And it wasn't until like literally someone on TikTok commented and they were like, hey, you should look into this. And then like a couple weeks later I got diagnosed. So I also got a functional neurological disorder diagnosis, which, you know, kind of explained some of the like physical oddities of DID, but like didn't explain why the switching was happening. You know, so but that's like the most fucking annoying thing about DID is like every other fucking condition has like medication, but with DID the treatment is like therapy, more therapy. So it's like, God, but you know, therapy has extremely helped me though. But yeah, putting my self-esteem back together after getting that diagnosis has been a journey. And then people tend to default it to being a choice, which does not. Yeah, infinite therapy paired with such intense self-work. Yeah, and there's also like a lot of I don't want to say gatekeeping because that sounds bad, but like about people, you know, you have to like develop it during a certain time frame. And, you know, that's like, I wasn't aware of anything happening in my childhood. There might have been something, but, so when I talked about like, surviving trafficking at 21, people were like, oh, I had some comments being like, oh, well, you don't have DID because like it would have had to happen when you were a kid. And I'm like, but I still got diagnosed, so that doesn't make sense. So, but it's all part of the journey. So, but yeah. There's so many opposed hurdles based on only what we've seen before. Yeah. Or people saying, oh, it's controversial. It's like, well, it's still a diagnosis. It still exists. And I feel like like it probably it flies under the radar so well, or people just aren't equipped to deal with like dissociative disorders. You know, like when I first, in like my first couple of years after escaping and kind of getting help, my parents thought I had bipolar. And I was like, that doesn't seem right to me. But it's crazy, like after getting the diagnosis and then doing parts work and like doing the reintegration, it has flipped my life around completely. One thing I noticed how trans folks have to encapsulate so much of the teen youth experience. So even at 21, a capable adult, emotionally and psychologically, there might be so youthful. Yeah. Yeah, and especially like neurodivergence as well. Because like, you know, you may not, like, even at like age 21, you may not be like fully integrated at all. Do you work in like mental health? But yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I was still a kid at 21, for sure. You just got wrecked by it early on in life and been a student of it ever since. 36 on attempt on the road. Do you have DID as well? But yeah, no, I hear you. And yeah. I hope you've found the healing and the support you've needed. One of the things that was really helpful that my therapist said was like that all of your parts have a job. and kind of learning how to like leverage those strengths and weaknesses has been very helpful for me. Like I definitely have a part that is very denial heavy, and when I need to just get through the day, that comes in handy a lot. And then I have like a protector part that kind of can come out and go toe to toe with like men harassing me in retail and stuff. But we don't think so. Autism, cult survivor, PTSD, anxiety as a teen, not to mention. Not the same or something I'd found out others experience, but I'm here for all of it. Well, I'm glad you're still here. But yeah, no one chooses this stuff. We just end up on this journey and end up figuring it out somehow. When integrated, those sound like cool parts. Thank you. It's been weird as hell for my boyfriend. But he's a trooper. So, and also probably pretty weird for like my coworkers, because depending on my level of stress, they're probably like, what are you on? Yeah, definitely not conversations that I have on MTF school. But I still try to use my page, like my personal page. I have like a separate page for the podcast, but like I definitely still try to talk about that stuff here too. Oh. Yup. The coworkers are like 40% NPCs. Yeah. Yeah, no, Mike's awesome. He's making pizza tonight. I don't know when he's starting to make pizza. But yeah, no, he's been, I don't like ever want to put the pressure on him to be like, I wouldn't be here without you, but like, he honestly like saved me. So, and like, he has been like one of the biggest reasons why I've been able to have this healing journey, because he really gave me that stability that I needed and that love that I just never got before. So yeah, he's awesome. But it's tough at work because like I can't talk about, you know what I mean? And no one like sees me and they're like, like the customers at work don't watch the podcast, so they're not like, oh, we know what's going on right now. So it's like, it's very embarrassing, especially with the amnesia. But it's been getting a little bit better with more reintegration and therapy. But yeah. I really appreciate having this conversation with someone else who knows about DID, because I usually feel very alone in it. So thank you. Love somebody to hear some of his process too. He did, if you go to season 1 of The Will of the Hunted on the YouTube channel, the Spotify or the Apple Podcasts, he did episode 2 with me from last season, right after I did my first video, kind of talking about what I knew of my story then. But we have filmed an update video about our relationship around DID that will come out end of next month, I think. So yes, I definitely like really want to get his thoughts out there too. It's been a nice solve for the Sunday Scaries here. But yeah, partners can add so much to a discussion. Yeah. And especially like we have very like, I mean, and he's like a cisgender straight man, and I'm like a very traumatized transgender autistic woman. So it's like we have like a lot of life experience that we're, you know, coming out from very different perspectives, and, you know, but our relationship, like, I am so grateful for. So yes, I'm very excited for that episode to come out, and I'll share that. We have one coming out pretty soon about chemsex, which is a very sticky topic. And one of my friends who kind of is in recovery and survived that. So that's going to be a really good episode as well. I have a really cool episode with one of my friends, Emily Bryant, coming out in 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And it's about her FFS journey. So that's going to be really cool. I have my friend Sky, who she's a drag queen in New Brunswick, and we talk about people getting stopped at the border and all of the crackdown of the Trump administration on queer community and queer spaces. And so, yeah. And then the one that's coming out this Tuesday is about fighting ICE censorship, especially on like platforms like TikTok that are being very, very heavily regulated right now. So yeah. So please check out, everyone, please check out The Will of the Hunted. It's in my bio. I put my entire, like, everything into it. And I really want to make it like a really awesome resource for people. So, yeah. Most of your life, you've been known as a cishet, slightly something. Big ol' fella fell in love with New York Angel a few years back. Really changed response. Everyone's response to you changed. Oh, thank you. For a second, I thought. For a second, I thought you were saying like angel is like a term, like a term for like dolls, like for trans women. And I was like, I haven't heard that one before, but I think you were talking about like my angel, like your partner. Yeah. Oh, you want to hear some fucking tea? How his world changed, expanded. Could be really engaging to hear. Yeah. Season 1, episode 12, or season 1, episode 2. I can DM you the link too if you want. But episode 1, season 1, episode 1, the first 30 minutes is about my first relationship, who was not supportive of me being a trans woman. And that is something I should probably talk more about on MTF School, about like relationship dynamics, being trans. 'Cause he I was a secret in his family, you know, and like, it was just not good. So yeah, Mike's perspective on, I've never done like a video with him on his perspective about being with a trans woman, if that's what you're alluding to. So, but the great thing about him, and like maybe one or two of my other boyfriends I've had in the past, is like that they just it hasn't been like a thing, you know what I mean? Like it hasn't been like, I haven't been treated differently. I haven't been restricted from like meeting family members or, you know, not being allowed to like talk about it and stuff. Like that's just never, there's never been any shame put on me in my current relationship, which has been really nice. Angel, cause she was, Angel a bit, cause sorry. I smile when I'm like stressed. I don't want to smile while I'm like reading that comment. She's gone. I'm so sorry. That's what you meant by Angel. Okay. I'm sorry. But I'm glad you're able to have that relationship. But yeah, I'll send you that episode, and thanks for checking out the podcast and stuff too. I really appreciate it. And for everyone else who's kind of given ideas for MTF school and stuff. Was it strange to be treated as a woman? She struggled hard with like doors being held and shit. It was such a mind opener to see someone realize so much more about their world. Yes, it was very strange. But one of the biggest lessons I learned was that not all attention is good attention. And which is kind of why I make the joke about like male privilege, and like the MTF school character Jennifer Male Privilege is like, I had really no idea what women went through when I transitioned, and it was such a mind opener. Like, it was insane, and I started, you know, being objectified and, you know, controlled and stuff. And it's like, I never expected any of that to happen. I just thought I was going to be happier and like wearing makeup, you know. But then like realizing how scary it is for women, especially trans women, has been like, holy fuck. So when people are like, oh, it's a choice, it's like, no. No one wants that. So, but yeah, that is a huge change, going from like being raised as a boy to living as a woman. Thank you. Roger Davis, I don't know if I'm translating that correctly. I'm on HRT in just over 12 weeks. I do not plan on coming out until at least 6 months. What are the closest to me likely to notice, or how careful do you need to be? Trans women here, by the way, you were amazing and a safe for your vids. Thank you. Congratulations on starting your journey. 12 weeks is 3 months. You're probably in like the fat redistribution stage where like your face is going to start getting a little bit like more rounded out and puffy. That is noticeable. Cause it'll look like you're gaining weight when you're like, it's really just shifting. I don't know if you're growing out your hair. That was a big thing that people noticed, because I just stopped cutting my hair. Breast growth, like you can feel it starting, but it's not physically like visible by that point, really. So mostly like your skin is kind of like the biggest thing at that point. Do you, in terms of like how careful do you need to be, you said you're planning on coming out later once you've gone through some more changes. if you kind of want to keep like preserving that while you like kind of live the double life until you're ready to come out, sweatshirts, just like wear very androgynous clothing. That's what I did. I was like really terrified that people were gonna see me as this like whole different person and like be confused. So I literally just like got like women's jeans, which is like not extremely noticeable, you know what I mean? And like just kind of started slowly changing my wardrobe a little bit. 6 months. Yeah, I came out at 4 months. Oh, if you're still here, if you go to the link in my bio, or just go to my YouTube at aj.offthehook, I have a documentary on my transition and like the timeline of like hormones. I need to put that on Instagram and put it on MTF School, but I literally like show you month by month like what the changes were. So that might be helpful as well, because I'm probably not remembering a lot of key things right now. But good luck. Definitely have like some people who know in the meantime, if you have like a partner or like supportive family or supportive friends who can kind of help you kind of get ready to make that public jump. So best of luck. I am here for you. No problem. I hope that's helpful. It's a ton to carry, not a choice. No one would really pick it. It's just a choice to stay alive, really. That's tea. That is tea. Yeah. Be last. Whoa. Be my last heaven. I literally thought I was trying to read that like, your name is Bemi? Sorry. What do you do when you're at the point where you can tell people are looking at you, but something's up, but they don't gender you correctly or really say anything? That happened to me multiple times today, where people look at you for a while, but they don't say anything. You're at the point where you can tell. So when you're like, people are starting to notice that you're like, kind of hitting that like middle ground where you're not just like looking like a cisgender AMAB person anymore. I don't know if this is like the best advice, but this is what I did. I was very antisocial. Because when I was like really early in my transition, I was still in high school, and I basically was like eating lunches in like teachers' classrooms because I was just worried that like in like the cafeteria, people would be seeing me from all angles. So like I kind of got through that time and waited out a lot of the early kind of awkwardness of the early transition, just by kind of isolating, but that's definitely not like the best advice. So when people are noticing, if it's like some rando person, like just kind of, I don't want to say like brush it off, but like you can think about it like certain ways. Like, yeah, obviously there's like the, oh my God, are they going to do something horrible? Or it's like, oh my God, people are starting to notice that I'm going through changes. You know what I mean? So it's like, it can be either way, depending on the context, but, it's a lot of pressure, but, you can kind of like, you know, how you dress, like if you wear like sweatshirts to like keep your hood up or whatever, if you don't want people like staring at you, or like be in groups, like walking groups and stuff. I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry that's happening to you a lot, though. I work at a restaurant. I was taking a lot of orders, and you can tell people are staring dead in your eyes and wondering about you, but they don't say anything or really make an effort. Yeah. Oh my God. My first job, I transitioned while I was working there, and I was like in a, like the front part of it was a theater, the back part of it had like a concession stand, and I worked that, and like my boss would dead name me after I came out in front of customers, and like tunnel vision got me through. Do your job, don't think about it, and then go home. When people are staring at you, though, it's like, it's really hard to not do anything or say anything, but if you just try not to react, then people will kind of realize that they're being inappropriate by like staring at you and making you uncomfortable. So like, try not to like let them make you uncomfortable, because it's your job and they're the ones that are kind of being in imposition. It makes me feel icky, but also like, I guess it's good. They can tell I'm not a cis fan. Yeah. I like to call that period in between, like when you're transitioning, the broccoli phase, because like, you kind of like, I kind of didn't look like, I really didn't look like a woman yet, but I really didn't look like a man anymore. It was kind of like, people were kind of like, so back then I like really tried to play it up with like jewelry and stuff, or I just like, just tried to hide, like I said. But yeah, that's tough. It's like, because you're going from being a cis man where people like really don't pay attention to you unless you like do something cool, which sounds really bad, but like that's kind of what my experience was as a cis boy growing, or not cis, but like as a boy growing up. Once you start leaving that safe gender bubble, people are like suddenly your eyes on you, especially once you get into the female presenting territory. Like, you're going to get used to it, because it's just going to be the thing all the time. Like, I've been in transition for 10 years, and when people look at me, I still am like, are they clocking me? You know what I mean? So it's like, but you'll get more used to it, but just like situational awareness. Like, if you feel like you're in danger, then just get the fuck out. It's not worth your job. Did get ma'am today in a drive-thru getting my lunch, so I'll take that as a win. Until you open your mouth still. The more you're on hormones too, the easier voice training gets too. Huh, who's that is my favorite response to that anyway. Yeah. I almost drank this. This is my makeup brush water. Yeah. Yeah. You have to like, it's hard to be patient with people, especially when like your safety depends on it. But those little victories, they pull us through. So I'm going to jump off here in a second and film some MTF schools and then go eat pizza. I'll kind of read through the list of what I have, and then if anyone has any last minute suggestions, I'll write those down. Transgender Day of Visibility, what it is, how to celebrate, why it's important. These are ideas. I may not get to all of these today. Makeup for dysphoria. My story about having razor burn and someone thinking it was a hickey. Finding your aesthetic. I'm going to talk about how tough it is for trans women who grieve that they can't bear children. That's something that a lot of my friends struggle with. I wrote gender's a spectrum and I'm a little paintbrush. That's gonna be a video, I guess. Where does your value come from? Thank you for hanging out, 12 card. I really appreciate the conversation we had, so thank you, and have a great evening. Clean, how to clean your face and aftercare after makeup, removing makeup. And then later I'll do spring, summer, mixing makeup with sunscreen, and the no makeup look. Does anyone else have anything? I just want to make sure I don't have lipstick on my teeth. But also, thank you for hanging out. I'm trying to get better about lives. I get very self-conscious, but I know that this is kind of like the most direct way to like have conversations. So thanks for hanging out. And if you're interested in more of like long form content than just MTF school, please check out my podcast, The Will of the Hunted. We have new episodes every Tuesday. It's usually me hosting, or it's always me hosting, and then I bring on like different guests who are in the community or who have like important stuff to talk about. And then my boyfriend Mike is also a co-host a couple times a season. So yeah, please check that out. We just did an episode on this past Tuesday on fighting for trans rights in the New Hampshire State House because of the bathroom bans. So that's a really cool one if you want to check that out. So that is in my bio, or you can just search The Will of the Hunted, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Hit that subscribe button. Sorry. And yeah, I'll MTF school I do twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. So, and I try to do other little stuff throughout the week too. So yeah. So if no one else has anything, I'm gonna get filming, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, and thank you so much for hanging out and making me feel less alone. So thank you, and love you guys. And I'll share this video so that it can be a resource for other people who didn't get to join. So sunset heart hands. Love you guys.